Mom, I need your assistance. I'm facing financial difficulties again this month. Could you possibly lend me a hand?
Again? Didn't I make it clear last month that I won't provide you more money? What on earth are you spending it on?
Marcia's school expenses and other things like that. Raising girls is quite expensive, you know.
But Marcia goes to a public school with free tuition. Is your budget so tight that you can't manage school supplies? Aren't you working? Even if it's part-time. I understand being a single mother is tough. But aren't you also receiving welfare benefits? If it's genuinely difficult, you can always come back to live here, you know.
No way. I don't want to leave the city.
I'm not sure if that's a strong enough reason.
I suppose you're right, but I want to continue striving to make it work here a little longer. I believe I can secure a full-time position at my current workplace.
You say that, but
Mom, please. This truly will be the last time. I promise. Although, actually, I am in some debt.
debt?
I keep receiving these threatening messages demanding repayment. And honestly, I'm not sure I can handle this. I might struggle to provide proper meals for Marcia.
Wait. What kind of debt is this? I've never heard of anything like this. And why are you even in debt? Didn't you have the inheritance money from your father? Can you show me your monthly budget plans?
Budget plans? What are you talking about? I used most of the inheritance when I moved here. And the rest went toward living expenses. It ran out a while ago. $30,000 can only go so far.
He intended that money for Marcia's future. Anyway, I'm coming over to help you manage your expenses. But you haven't explained how you ended up in debt. I've been sending you around $500 every month. You can't tell me you were so short on cash that you had to go into debt.
That. Well, I spent some money on dating and gambling and such.
Dating and gambling. You're still gambling? Weren't you quitting when Marcia was born?
I had planned to, but I had a lucky streak after she was born. So I thought if I kept winning, I could provide her a better life.
You know she'd have a better life if you spent that money on her instead. And what's this about dating? Do you have another new boyfriend?
Well, sort of.
What do you mean sort of?
We're not official yet. But we're getting there. He mentioned that if I prioritize him, we can be together. He's a musician, you know, so that's significant.
What are you thinking? It sounds like your financial troubles are your own doing. If that's your lifestyle, I'll take Marcia and raise her myself. Don't involve her in your mess.
No. He said he likes kids. I want to introduce them. If he likes her, we can become more serious.
What are you talking about? She's your daughter. That's enough. I've heard enough selfishness from you. When you decided to have Marcia without even knowing her father. Your father and I agreed to help you under the condition that you would raise her properly. But you keep prioritizing guys over her. How many times will you hurt her before you're satisfied?
What can I do? I'm a romantic.
There's no reasoning with you. You know what? I won't help you anymore. Please bring Marcia back here.
What are you saying? What do you mean you won't help?
Your behavior contradicts the essence of being a parent. That's why you're in this situation. Our spoiling has led to this. But I can't keep fixing things for you forever. Resolve your debts on your own. And bring Marcia here temporarily.
No, I won't do that. If you won't assist me, I won't allow you to see her.
Listen to yourself. Even if I gave you the money, you'd just spend it on gambling and your boyfriend. Consider your actions.
Ugh, blah 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 blah. All you do is nag nag nag. I'm done with this. All I hear is that you're abandoning Marcia. Goodbye.
Adrian. Wait.
Grams?
Rams? Marcia? Was that you calling before?
Yes.
I was surprised because I didn't recognize the number. What's up? Did your mom buy you a phone?
No, I borrowed one. Grams, may I call you?
Apologies, I'm currently at work, so I can't talk.
I understand.
What's the matter?
Grams, Mom's missing.
What?
She didn't come home.
Where are you at the moment? I'm on my way to pick you up.
I'm at this guy's place.
What? Guy? I'm a bit confused, I'm not sure I follow.
After Mom disappeared, this man came to the house. He brought me to his place and offered me food.
What?
He says he wants to find out where Mom is. Do you know?
Sorry, I'm not aware. Can you pass the phone to the man for a moment?
Greetings. Kindly address me as Mr. Ansem. I am associated with the company your daughter borrowed from.
Hello. This is Ashlyn Rogers.
Yes, I am aware. Adrian listed you as her emergency contact.
I understand.
Speaking of Adrian, she has ceased loan repayments. Our attempts to reach her by phone have gone unanswered. So I took it upon myself to visit her residence directly. Upon my arrival, I discovered that she had gathered her personal belongings and left her daughter Marcia here unattended.
What? Is that true?
According to Marcia, Adrian gathered her belongings yesterday and departed.
She did what? Are you suggesting that she ran away? And abandoned Marcia?
It appears so. Additionally, regarding the loans, you are listed as her guarantor.
What?
Consequently, we are seeking to recover Adrian's remaining balance of $20,000 from you.
Please wait a moment. I do not recall agreeing to be a guarantor.
Nevertheless, your name is indicated as the guarantor on the contract. The document bears your signature.
That cannot possibly be valid. Are you more than just a regular debt collector? And to take my granddaughter away like this? I will contact the authorities.
That's quite harsh. I am merely safeguarding your granddaughter's well-being. I understand if you mistake us for unscrupulous lenders. But I assure you our practices are legitimate and not easily swayed by legal threats. Should this proceed to court, the contract's validity may not be easily dismissed.
This is beyond belief.
I comprehend your sentiments. However, the reality is that we need the loan repaid. Our preference is not for you to settle it. Understand that I am tasked with retrieving the funds from Adrian. When one borrows money, one should assume the responsibility of repayment. This is a fundamental principle, isn't it?
Certainly, that's true.
Therefore, I kindly request you to bring Adrian here. We have suitable tasks for her to work off her debt. How does that proposition sound? Can you contact her for us?
Essentially, you want me to betray my daughter to safeguard my granddaughter?
This same daughter who abandoned her own child. Your granddaughter. Is that truly worth protecting?
I admit her actions are unforgivable. Given the recent situation, it's in Marcia's best interest to be with me. But regardless of her faults, Adrian is still my daughter. I'm not naive. I can envision the type of work you have in mind. I am aware she is at fault in this matter. However,
I recognize that this is not my place to comment. But Adrian's approach to child rearing appeared minimal from my perspective. During a previous visit to the house, it was in a state of disarray. It did not seem to have been cleaned. Despite this, she borrowed money for gambling and personal pursuits, and ultimately deserted her own child. Personally, I find it difficult to muster sympathy for such behavior.
I understand. I grasp the situation. However, I can't shake the feeling that we must have erred in our upbringing for her to have turned out this way.
Listen closely. It's said that nobody is inherently wicked. Yet, I believe that rotten apples remain so, regardless of the tree they grow on. Trust me, I know this from experience. In my line of work, I've encountered various households. I've met countless deceitful scoundrels in my time. Interestingly, a majority of them originated from caring, loving homes.
I comprehend your point. You're likely correct. All right, I will contact my daughter. So please return my granddaughter to me.
Certainly. Inform me when you manage to reach Adrian. Your granddaughter is presently playing with my own daughter. Rest assured, she is safe and well. I have no intention of harming someone the same age as my child.
I see. In that case, I suppose I should thank you for looking after her.
It's not an issue. Ultimately, I'm a parent as well. Anyway, we await favorable news from you.
Adrian. One of your loan sharks just contacted me. It appears you abandoned Marcia and fled. What's going through your mind? Why didn't you leave her with me? I would have gone there to retrieve her.
I thought they might reach out to you. I apologize for that.
That doesn't matter to me. I'm focused on Marcia right now.
So then they started discussing seizing my property. So I really had no other option. And no matter how much I wanted to, I couldn't bring Marcia with me.
Then why didn't you bring her to me?
I was at my wit's end. It would have taken time to leave her with you. And she takes forever to get ready. I didn't have the luxury to think about it. I had valuable belongings I didn't want confiscated. Just packing it all was draining. Plus, you'd already expressed wanting to take her away from me. Your desire for things to work out your way irked me.
What's gotten into you? Marcia is in elementary school. She can't fend for herself. And you simply deserted her at home. If the loan shark hadn't found her, who knows what might have occurred? If circumstances had been different, she could have been endangered.
I plan to fetch her once things settle down. Endangered. You're exaggerating.
Fine, I understand your perspective.
So what's your plan now? I assume you've learned you're the guarantor and also liable for the debt.
I'm aware. Hence, I'm going to assist you.
Yes, thank you so much. So, can I go back home now? That's a relief.
Yet, there are conditions. I want you to accompany me to settle the debt.
What? Why? If you're going to pay it off, do it yourself. That guy terrifies me. I don't want to face him.
You're not a child anymore. At the very least, be there to oversee this. If you don't, I won't pay it. Then it seems we'll have them after us indefinitely. However, if you join me to settle it, we can conclude this now. So, what's your decision?
All right, I understand. I'll accompany you.
Good, then meet me tomorrow at 10 a.m. near the post office. We'll head there together.
Yeah, all right. If I can manage to wake up in time.
You better make sure you do.
What is this? Why did you leave me behind? Did you deceive me? What kind of mother sells out her own daughter? You're a monster.
Pardon me? Who's being called a monster?
You. You didn't bring the money you promised and then you just took off. What are you thinking? Do you realize what could happen to me if we leave things like this? Is this what a real mother would do? Do you not have even a bit of maternal instinct?
I could ask you the same question. Even in normal times, you didn't care for Marcia as you should have. You just roamed around town partying. I know you dressed her up nicely whenever she was going to see me to make it seem like you were taking better care of her. And in the end, you abandoned her and ran off. Disgraceful.
What? Mothers also need some time for themselves. It's not my fault that she ended up left behind.
What are you talking about? Everything happening now is a result of your actions. It's all your responsibility.
I have things I still want to do. There are places I want to go where Marcia can't come along. I want to enjoy myself, and yes, I spent a lot of money. But is that really so wrong?
No, spending on enjoyment isn't wrong. But you had the option to leave Marcia with me if you wanted to go out. And it's fine to spend as long as you do so within your means. Money borrowed from others isn't meant for entertainment.
But everyone else my age is still out having fun. Why am I the only one stuck like this?
This is the path you chose. You decided to have Marcia. Even though I disagreed at first, I admired your determination back then. At the beginning, you were trying so hard. But as soon as you found a guy, you neglected her. And on top of that, you left home, claiming you'd raise her alone.
After Dad passed, I thought I could manage with the inheritance. And you were so naggy. Don't do this. Don't do that. Find a good job.
I just wanted you to take parenting seriously. I can't support both of you forever. But you left me and only contacted me when you needed money. I've done everything I can for you. When I heard about your debt, I had to take action to get Marcia away from you. I've already given up on you.
Seriously? You won't help me?
That's correct.
Mom. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I promise I'll improve, so please assist me.
I truly wanted to help you before it got to this point. But now it's too late. Do you even know where Marcia is?
Isn't she with you?
No, she isn't. You haven't thought about her at all this whole time, have you? If you had shown even a hint of concern for your daughter since we last spoke, I was prepared to pay off the debt, despite what others might say about your worthiness. But since you were only focused on yourself, I see no reason to help. Clear your debt on your own and reflect on how you ended up here.
Mom, no. Please help me.
Just as you seem to have no one else to rely on but me. Marcia had no one else but you. How can you expect me to care for you when you won't care for your own daughter?
Marcia and I are different. As long as she has a home and food, she's fine. But it's mentally too much for me. I'm facing awful circumstances. You understand that, right? You know what situation I'm in, don't you?
Yes, I understand the situation perfectly. I recognize how difficult things have been for Marcia mentally. And as for you, as long as you have a place to live and something to eat, you'll manage.
No, I won't make it. And I'm so close. Just a bit more, and things with Scott will become official. Happiness is nearly within reach. All right. I understand. I realize I was mistaken before. I'll heed your advice, and I'll even come home.
What you truly need now is a reality check to correct that skewed perspective. But I can't provide it. Fortunately, it appears Mr. Ansem is willing to assist with that.
No. I don't want to go there.
If you've genuinely recognized your errors, pay off your debts, and then return home. Try to remember your mindset when you had Marcia. Or even better, when you decided to have her. If you can't, then I have no choice but to sever ties. It's time for you to fully grasp your adulthood. Following that, Mr. Ansem drove Marcia all the way back to my house. Marcia mentioned that despite his initial intimidating appearance, she and his daughter developed a fondness for each other. She expressed that the night spent there turned out to be rather enjoyable, akin to her inaugural sleepover. However, the lingering impact of her mother's abandonment remains. As for Adrienne, our communication has been limited since that incident. She's diligently employed in the job provided by Mr. Ansem, gradually repaying her debt. Evidently, she earnestly aspires to rebuild her life with Marcia eventually, and refrain from another escape. Given Mr. Ansem's commitment to his family, a recurrence of her flight seems improbable. After a few months, Marcia eventually found solace and began wearing a smile more often than not. I'm finding it challenging to pardon Adrienne's actions toward her. Yet, I'm grappling with the uncertainty of whether my decisions were correct in the end. Regardless of her transgressions, Adrienne remains my daughter. There was a time when she genuinely cared for Marcia. My aspiration is for her to reclaim that previous version of herself, provided she redeems her debts and genuinely reflects on her deeds. Contingent upon Marcia's sentiments, it might be a positive pursuit to coexist once more. Naturally, the situation is intricate and uncertainties persist. Forgiveness remains elusive for now. Temporarily, my foremost concern is to meticulously acknowledge Marcia's emotions and cultivate a safe haven for her. In the event Adrienne resorts to forceful actions to reclaim her, I will demonstrate my unwavering commitment to Marcia's security. I am resolute in dedicating the remainder of my life to her well-being. It's a resolution I've reached to assume responsibility for my daughter's missteps.